I'm Tom, W5KUB, host of Amateur Radio Roundtable. It's a ham radio show. It's on every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time on W5KUB.com. Hey, today I want to talk to you about FT8. I've been a ham radio operator for over 53 years, an engineer, a senior member of the IEEE, but I've never really done any digital. So I thought I'd jump into it and see how it works out. So I loaded the wsjt-x on my laptop and wanted to give it a try, and was going to start first with FT8. Now, I had a little trouble. It took me about a day to get it working, so don't get discouraged. I did look on YouTube, and I found about 6 or 7 people saying, here's how you set it up for a 7300, an ICOM 7300, and it works. I couldn't make any of them work. So this is video number 7 for you to look at out there. If the others don't work for you and you got an IC 7300, maybe this will work for you. So I'm going to show you the options in the setup for the FT8, and also show you a couple options on the radio that you'll have to set up. So here we go. So let's get over to the operating position here at W5KUB, and you can see we've got a 7300 here, and we've got it on FT8 right now. Let's come back over to the laptop, and we'll go through some of the settings here. It wasn't that many settings to do. Once you get it installed, it's pretty straightforward. Just download wsjt-x and install it on your computer. And then you go up to File, Settings, and let's look at some of the settings. So your general settings here, basically, you just want to put your call in. That's going to be very important, and your grid square. I believe that's all I had to do on this screen here. Let's go to the radio now. We're going to go to radio. Now, here's some of the things on the, I'm using the USB cable between the radio and the laptop. You could use audio cables out of your own sound card in your laptop, but I'm using the sound card in the radio. I originally had the serial port there selected as USB, but that didn't work. Even though I'm using USB, that didn't work. So you can see you'll have a couple selections there. COM3 in the radio is what actually worked for me. The baud rate, you can put the baud rate, I think, about anything you want to. I think the radio will auto detect the baud rate. I've got it on 8 stop bits, on 8 data bits and 1 stop bit. Handshake default. I'm using CAT for control. You don't have an option here to select anything under the audio source. On mode, this was a tricky one here. Some people use data. Some people use USB. Mine worked with none, so you might want to try none. And then down here for split operation, be sure and do none. And once you do that, be sure and hit OK. Audio, you need to make sure if you're using the sound card in the radio, you need to make sure you're using, and this doesn't look right. I don't know what happened here. You want to use the audio codec, the USB codec in the radio, and I'll put the default may have worked. It may have gone to default here because I just made a contact, but that's the one you want to use right there. Nothing else here to select, so you'll do OK. And then there was no other settings in here you had to do. Let's look at the radio real quick. I found there are a couple settings in the radio that you really need to do. So first of all, up here on your selection of sideband or CW or USB, you want USB-D for data. If you look at this, you've got, sideband, lower sideband, you've got USB-D. You've got various different sidebands, but I think my laptop is actually making it default to D. But you don't want to be in just regular USB. You want to be in USB-D for your digital mode. Now we're going to go down here to menu. Actually, we're going to go to function. On function, some people turn the AGC off. I've just got mine on slow. Turn your notch filter off, noise blanker off, noise reduction off. I've got my monitor on now so I can hear it when we transmit. So let's go back to the menu. Let's go to set and connectors. Now under connectors, you get a number of selections here. ACC USB output, I've got AF. ACC USB audio output level, I've got a little under 50%. The USB AF squelch off, USB AF beep, that's off. Let's go down. The IF, I don't think this makes any difference, but it's on 50. The IF level, the modulation level 50%. USB modulation level 50%. Data off mod, I've got it on USB. Here you've got a couple choices. You got mic, you got accessory, mic accessory, and you got USB. Mine worked with USB. I think the only other thing, I don't know if it's needed, but under CI-V port, CIV USB port, I've got it linked to remote. That may not be necessary, but it works there. So that's pretty much it on the settings that I have. So let's say we can make a contact. Now, one of the things that you need to know is, well, first of all, I thought that, hey, I'm going to get on FT8, and if I hear somebody, I click on him, I will talk to him automatically. It doesn't happen like that. This is just like making a sideband contact. If you hear someone calling CQ and you answer him, he may not answer you back because there are probably 20 other people calling him. So don't get discouraged if he doesn't answer you the first time. Don't get discouraged if he doesn't answer you the second call. Also, another thing that's really important is the signal strengths. Here's a list of people. The greens are CQs. Here's the signal level of these people. -16, that's very weak. -13, -9, these are pretty weak. I found that when I was calling stations -12, -14, -16 that are very weak, I didn't connect to them as well. They didn't hear me. I was probably very weak, plus they had a lot of other people calling them. So, you know, I try to pick stations that are a little bit stronger. Back to the setup here. Okay, there was only one thing that was important in setup. Only one thing that was important, I think, in setup, and that is make sure you get your, well, one of the things important, make sure you get your call in there, because that is going to automatically, set you up a CQ in your call and your grid square, and it's also going to set up automatically the person you work plus your call plus their signal strength, and you're going to have their call, your call. You're going to say Roger, Roger, 73, and they're going to, of course, answer and say Roger, Roger, 73s, and that's the end of the conversation. So all this happens automatically here. Once you make a contact, it's going to cycle automatically. For instance, this N1RKJ here I talked to, he came up over here calling CQ. I click on him. His call is automatically placed here. His call will be automatically placed there with your call, and it will give his call plus your call and your grid. Then he will come back to you with his call, and your signal report. Then you'll send his call, your call, and you'll send his signal report back to him. Then he will say, Roger, Roger, 73s, and then you will say to that guy, 73, and then the conversation's over. So all this happens automatically. Let's click on a person and see if we can make a contact. Let's see if we can find somebody here. We'll see if we can make a contact. There's several Europeans in there. Now another thing, transmissions are 15 seconds each. You can see right here the 15 seconds counting. So you transmit 15 seconds and after that it decodes. He transmits 15 seconds and after that it decodes, and it just keeps going like that. Here's a France station. Oh, let's see. Oh, a bunch of them. Let's see. Let's call this guy EI9. Now I double clicked on him, and when I double clicked on him, you saw it went into enable transmit, and there I am calling EI9KF from W5KUB. Now it doesn't appear he heard me that first call. I may have not got in time, so we're going to see if he will come in on the second call. If he answers, it'll be red. Okay, I'm calling him again. Let's see if he answers. Okay, we just made a second call to him. You can see somebody that during the time window, somebody is making a transmission. After 15 seconds, it will decode. We didn't get him, so we're calling him again. An important thing I forgot to mention at the beginning of the video, your time clock in your computer has to be almost exactly. You can't be off more than just a half a second or less. Because if you noticed, everything is synchronized on all the replies and the calls. You saw that 15-second interval. Everything is synchronized around the world when you talk. So your computer has to be within about a half a second or even better. Now you can see my time here. It says my time is exact. So I know my time is good. And the way I get my time, you can check your time by going to time.is. If you go to time.is and hit enter, that will tell you how much your computer is off. Now, how do you get that? I found the Microsoft app didn't really do very well at keeping my time close. So I downloaded another a little app. It's called NetTime. It's called NetTime. This is 3.14. It's free. And you just load this on your PC or your laptop, and it will keep your time exact. It will put it exactly where it needs to be to make contact. So that's important to know. You've got to have that time right. If your time is off, you're not going to make contacts. You might hear people, but you're sure not going to make contact with them. So that's what you're looking for right there. Let's see if we can make contact at least with someone here. So we called him. Let's see if he answered. Nope, he didn't answer us. We're calling again. Looks like we got an answer from Italy. We're now sending back his signal report, which is a +3. We should get a signal report back from him. And we got a signal report back from him, or let's see. Well, he said, Roger, Roger, 73. And I'm saying 73. He gave me a signal report of a minus 16. Gave him a signal report of a plus 3, it looks like. Okay, well, we made a contact here to Italy, so that's what it looks like. To log it, we'll just go up here and we'll hit the log button. So it's logged now. Down at the bottom, you can see some of the waterfall there of all the contacts going on right now. Pencil in, I guess, right?
Well,
or that was the foxhole one.
That was the foxhole one.